Good morning. My name is Inga Cotton. I'm the founder and executive director of San Antonio Charter Moms, and these are Charter Moms Chats. We go live around 9 a.m. on weekdays to talk to families about how they can keep the learning going at home. And then as we transition to back to school, we're going to talk about ways to support distance learning and home education. So today we have a guest. Paula Turner is the social emotional learning coordinator at Brooks Academies. Let me put up the URL so y'all can find. There's that's the main website for Brooks Academies of Texas. And okay, so she's a mom, but they're big now. She has a 19-year-old at Texas A&M, a 21-year-old who's moving to Boston for graduate school, a 23-year-old graduate of Angelo State University. Okay, so Paul, you're a survivor. All these young men have turned out well. And so she has experience as a teacher, counselor, administrator, and she's been at Brooks since 2017. So and I think having a social emotional learning coordinator for the district is a really good sign that shows that you guys are really embracing social emotional learning. And so she's on our guest today to talk about an activity, and there's a link in the description of the video so you can see the whole blog post. And so the idea is these mindfulness moments that they're incorporating into the classroom. And the blog post also gives families advice about how to do this at home. And there's a product called Yoga for Classrooms. So Paula, please tell us more about Yoga for Classrooms.
Well, Yoga for Classrooms was developed by Lisa Flynn, and it is an evidence-based, classroom-friendly, but also home-friendly yoga and mindfulness program for schools that promotes social, emotional, physical health and wellness, learning readiness in a positive school and home climate. And it's a really fun and relaxing and mindful program. It can be tailored to fit the needs of our children. If they come in tired one day, then there are some activities that are specific for helping to energize. If we need to be calm or work on focus, there are some activities that focus on that. And so no matter how we as adults, teachers or learning professionals or our children come to us, there are activities and cards to help us engage at that level.
Yeah, and what's I really appreciate it. So in the blog post, there's links to the Yoga for Classrooms website, so families can, investigate that for themselves. There's I saw on the website you can, if you join their mailing list, you can download some of the graphics for yourself, and then there's a deck of cards that y'all are using on campus, but that also the families can order for themselves. Oh, cool! Yeah, there's the deck, and it's available on Amazon. So we've got the link in the post. Yes, so I encourage families like click through the link in the description and visit the blog post to find the resources there. But I wanted can you tell us more about what are the benefits for children, but it applies to teens and adults too, but for practicing mindfulness?
There are so many, Inga, and I could spend the entire 30 minutes just talking about the research on why this is important. There is an infographic that I think we'll put in the blog somewhere that kind of hits on each of the categories for mental and health resilience, physical health, academic performance, social emotional skills, the school and classroom climate and home climate, our homeschool climate, as well as teacher well-being and parent well-being. And so there are so many benefits, but it builds resiliency, it builds confidence and self-esteem. It supports character development. It provides a sensory release. It enhances team skills and social interaction. It develops discipline and self-control. There's one of Castle's 5 competencies, self-regulation, which is key to learning. And we want to make certain that we're helping our students become more self-aware and self-regulate. And this does that. It's an actual tool with breathing and stretching and imagination vacations and exercises to help us self-regulate. It supports self-expression. It encourages environmental awareness. One of the card decks is called Be Well, and that's the green section. Supports a sense of universal connectedness. And I think that's key right now in this COVID environment and with the virtual lessons and instruction. The connectedness is something that we're all seeking and desire. So it helps with that, and it inspires respect for self and others. And there's a list that I could go on forever.
Yeah, those are all things that I mean, I feel this myself. I know my children feel it. They may not express it as, I mean, my kids are 10 and 13, so it's an ongoing journey, I think, for adults and for kids to learn how to talk about our feelings and identify them in ourselves, and then figure out how to, um, just not be at the mercy of what's happening in the world or our circumstances, but to be able to reset, right? And this is directly related to learning because, being able to put ourselves in the right frame of mind to learn just makes the classroom experience that much more effective. So when there's so much going on in the world, being more mindful of how we feel and, be able to function, it's more important than ever.
And that's really the
So,
definition of
yeah.
mindfulness. It's being present in the moment with kindness and curiosity, so that we can choose a response that is appropriate to the situation. And we're very reactive in our society. We're so busy. Oh, good. There's the infographic. Yay.
Yes, I've been clicking around while you've been talking.
Thank you, Inga. So, under mental health and resilience, it reduces anxiety, problematic stress responses, and depression, improves resiliency and coping frequency. For physical health, it increases physical well being and physical fitness, as well as flexibility, balance, and strength, which is so key. For academic performance, it enhances focus and attention. Several of the cards really focus on focus and being in the here and the now, that mindfulness, that attention component, and supports positive academic outcomes. It improves grades, test scores, and preventing declines in grade point average. And all of this is research based. For social emotional skills, it improves the social emotional outcomes such as self-regulation and social skills, reduces problem behaviors such as suspensions and disciplinary referrals, bullying and hostility, because students learn a tool of how it's okay to feel how they feel, but the tools of how to react to that and perhaps not react, which we're a very reactionary society. School classroom climate, it cultivates a positive climate by fostering beneficial mental, social, emotional, academic, and physical outcomes for educators and students. And then teacher, and we'll add parent well-being to this. Educators who participate in yoga and mindfulness-based training experience improvements in mood, classroom management, physical symptoms, blood pressure, and cortisol awakening response, as well as teaching efficacy, well-being, stress reduction, and burnout prevention. Who doesn't want all of that?
Yeah, yeah, really. And this is the kind of thing where it's not like you can't just sort of install this in your brain, right? It's something where you have to practice it over and over again, and then over time it kind of reshapes your mind, right? So like a few years ago, a friend of mine recommended that I start keeping a gratitude journal.
Mhm.
And so I have a little notepad in my nightstand and I write just one or two sentences first thing in the morning. I think most people do it in the evening, but for me, if I'm going to build a habit, it usually has to be in the morning. And I credit that to like changing my outlook on the world. But at first I was like, this is weird. I don't get it. But after about maybe 6 months, like it felt like it was making it. Then that's when I could notice the difference. It probably started making a difference sooner than that. But these are the kinds of things where if you stick with it, it can make really deep changes in how your brain and your body work. And in some ways, it's those gradual changes over time are almost like the only real change that sticks. You know what I mean?
Absolutely. There's so much brain-based research on gratitude journals and mindfulness practices. And it really does build neural pathways and it really, that stress response, your brain is made in order to grow new pathways, and practicing these activities helps create those pathways and helps that neuroplasticity grow. It's amazing.
Mhm. So, Paula, let me ask you, do you want to, I do have some more questions about like how specifically you're implementing this at Brooks Academies, and then also suggestions for the families at home. But you have some of the cards, and so you wanted to like demonstrate. So what do you think? Do you want to show how the cards work, or do you want to, and then
Absolutely.
okay, great. Okay, so I will switch up the camera. In fact, I can make you solo, or I can, let's see, wait, should I try, I can practice along.
That'd
Let
be great.
me
Let's
move
do
my chair. Okay.
focus my
All
camera
right.
a little bit. Okay, so the first one we're going to do together is a foundational pose. So this is a foundation pose for every Y4C activity. It's called mountain, okay? And so you're going to stand up tall and strong with your arms at your sides and your feet about hip distance apart. Now, if you'd like, you can rock back and forth. You can rock side to side. Your goal here is to build a strong, sturdy, stable mountain. Just a nice, firm pose. No one, if someone came by and tried to touch you on the shoulder, they would not be able to knock you over. So mountain is our standing home base. You're going to focus your eyes either on a focus point straight across from you, or if you feel comfortable, those joining us at home, you may certainly close your eyes. We're going to inhale in our breath as we raise our shoulders toward our ears like this. And then we're going to exhale and roll them back and down. As you do that, please notice your weight going into your feet, anchoring you solidly to the ground. We're going to relax and focus on our breath. Let's do that 2 more times. Roll your shoulders up and breathe in and out. Again, rolling shoulders up and in and out. Good job. Now everyone is a nice, strong, sturdy mountain. So I thought we would go to a breath. This is one of the favorite go-to breaths. It's called balloon breath. Lots of programs have balloon breath. We all need balloon breath in our lives. So we're going to begin in standing mountain, which is where we are now, with a tall, straight spine. We're going to close our eyes or your focus point, and you can place your hands on your belly. What I'm going to do, though, is I'm going to add a Hoberman sphere because it's a good visual for this breath. So what we're going to do is we're going to imagine that our belly is turning into a balloon, and we're going to slowly inflate the balloon by breathing in through our nose, and we're going to feel our belly expand as the balloon fills with air, and then we're going to slowly deflate by exhaling that stale air out of the balloon. We're going to do that 4 times. Is everybody ready? Okay, here we go. Breathe in. And exhale. Again, inhale. And exhale. Great job, everyone. If you have any distractions, try to focus back on your breath. Breathe in. And out. And our last breath, breathe in. And out. Remember to drop your shoulders. You're supposed to be calm. How do you feel? Does that feel good?
Yeah. On Mondays, I always feel like I have a lot of thoughts buzzing around my head, but now I feel more clear and like more able to just focus on one thing at a time, do a good job, pat myself on the back, move on to the next thing, be set up for a good day.
And that a mindful moment can be as simple as just stopping in your chair, taking 4 deep breaths. And that's what being mindful is. It's focusing on the here and now. So focus on your breath. Focus on the inhale, the slight pause, and then the exhale. Just be aware of that. Hi, Miss Wilson.
And she says, thank you. Yeah.
Aww. So right now, let's do another one. You want to keep going, Inga?
Yeah, okay, let's do it. Let's do another one.
Star today. So
okay.
From you're in your mountain position. If you need to readjust, you can move around a little bit. Make sure your mountain is good and sturdy. And what you're going to do for star is you're going to make sure your feet are even with your hips. And we're going to stretch our arms out straight, taking care to lower our shoulders away from our ears. And now we become a 5-point star. Got our head, our 2 hands, and our 2 feet. So from here, you're going to find a focus point with your eyes, and you're going to breathe in and out slowly and evenly. And we're going to see how long we can hold star pose. We're going to do 3 deep breaths. And 1 more breath. Your arms getting a little tired. We can turn this now. There are different strategies on taking one of the poses and then letting it grow into something else. So from this pose, from star, we can become a twinkling star. And we do that by gently starting to rock. Can you become a twinkle star, Inga? And our family and friends that are joining us? Now you're twinkling. You can sing Twinkle, Twinkle, Little Star. You can twinkle and hold your pose. See if you can hold it. And then twinkle again, and then hold it on the other side if you can. From star, okay, you can let your arms rest now in case they're a little tired. So from star pose, we can also, there's 2 more positions. We can become a folding star. So we go back to mountain, find your sturdy mountain base, go back to star. And what we're going to do is we're going to inhale deeply, lifting our head as if it's on a puppet string. And then we're going to exhale slowly and fold over to reach our shins or the outside of our shoes. And allow your neck and head to relax. You want to press your hips back, and you're going to stay here for 2 deep breaths, relaxing into the stretch. Inhale and exhale. Inhale and exhale. Now you can become a twisting star if you put one hand between your legs on the floor. If you can reach, if you can't, it's okay. And then you're going to reach your other arm up to the sky. And you can turn your head to look. And then feel that stretch. Don't forget to breathe. In and out. And then move your other arm in the middle between your legs. And then put the opposite arm up. And look up and reach. And stretch. And don't forget to breathe. Breathing in and out. You're going to slowly bring both of your arms back between your legs. And you're very slowly going to come back to your anchor, to your center, to mountain.
That stretch with the you called it twisting star? Wait, how was that is like a good antidote to like being in your chair all day, because I feel like I spend a lot of time, in my chair at the computer, and then sometimes my back just feels kind of tired. And usually what I do is I usually go have to wash dishes. That's my antidote. But always dishes washed. But right. This is more fun. Yeah. I'll still get the dishes done, but that felt really good on my back. So I'm going to be doing some more of those. Yeah, and how cool to and this seems so simple. I think sometimes we're gonna we'll do yoga as a family. Like it feels so intimidating. Like it feels like it's like and maybe you don't feel safe going to a studio or having a trainer come to your house or whatever. But like this is just so simple. It's like just let go of the expectations. Just start with something simple and like build it into your habits and then see all the benefits that we talked about, right? So we have all these benefits. And if this is too small on your screen, don't worry, just click through the blog post and it's there as a JPEG and I'll add the PDF. And then that way, if you're just wondering how is this, is it worth adding this practice to your life? The answer is yes, because it has a lot of benefits.
There's a book.
Wow, that's so really good.
So sorry.
Oh, go ahead.
There's a book that I can recommend for parents if they're interested. It's called Mindful Parenting. It's by Kristen Race. It's Kristen. and race, like you're running a race, RACE, and it's called Mindful Parenting. And her life's work is researching stress in the brain and creating solutions to help families become more resilient to the stressors in our lives. And she makes an important point that stressed out parents raise stressed out kids. And so her book is about how to become more mindful as a parent. It's a very easy read. I haven't finished it. I'm probably 2/3 of the way through, but it's a really good book.
Well, I'll add that. I'll make sure that's in the blog post there's towards the bottom of the post, there's a section called resources. So I'll add that, make sure that's there. So yeah, I think I'll get a copy. It's, this is part of the challenge. And we've talked about this in other places on the blog, but that, families spending so much time under the same roof, that like it's harder to step away from a situation. And, we have to find ways to, accommodate each other and be more understanding of each other. And as parents, we were kind of responsible for setting the tone, and helping try to set, everybody makes mistakes. We all have our times when we're not at our best, but, we can make a difference on what the climate is like in our home. And, I guess you said in Brooks Academies, like, so in the summer, there's the Jumpstart program, right, where this is already being implemented. And then, this will be part of the elementary classrooms in the fall, right? So can you tell us more about how the mindful moments and how Yoga for Classrooms is applied at Brooks?
Absolutely. So our summer Jumpstart program is going on right now for our elementary through high school. And what we're doing is we're taping or recording the breaks. And so they can be anywhere between 10 to 15 minutes. I think I've gone a little long on a couple of them. But we're talking about mindfulness. So teaching that definition of that word, being present in the moment with kindness and curiosity. And what's important about that is there's no judgment. We're used to reacting and judging. I know I'm guilty of it. So it's just being present in the moment. It's okay to be angry. It's okay to be sad. It's okay to be anxious. And figuring out, what do we do with that? We don't need to judge that. We don't need to react. I don't need to yell. I don't need to have a breakdown. But what do I do with that? And that's why the Y for C is so important. And so what we're doing is we're recording sequences like the one we just did with mountain, and then balloon breath, and then star, and then talking a little bit about mindfulness and tying it together so that we're giving our students useful tools in order to handle their stresses. And we're recording them and posting them. So they're on our website, brooksacademy.org. Under the parent tab, there's a social and emotional learning tab there, and we're posting them. And so teachers can play them at any time that they need them. And then they'll be training when we come back for our staff development. I'll be training and working with every campus and every school leader and our counselors. And we're going to be learning them together as well throughout the school year.
Yeah. No, I think this is mindfulness has always been important, but I think is especially important now. And I'm so happy that Brooks is showing leadership and incorporating this even while things are so disrupted, right? Like, you have to overcome the barrier of recording these things. But the good news is that they're on the website, they're accessible. So, students can use them, families can revisit them. We'll include the link in the blog post so families can discover it. Can you tell me more about just suggestions for families using this at home? I think it's great that you demonstrated this. It's like, here's the card, here's a simple set of poses. Just the poses you showed in the video today is enough, for a good practice. You don't even need the whole card deck necessarily, but if you're curious, you can, go further with it. But just suggestions for families who, maybe, a parent might feel a little shy about asking their kids, like, okay, we're going to try this new thing, but how would they bring it up? How would they get started?
Just start. And that's the key. It doesn't have to be complicated. We always think, oh, well, where's the manual and how do I learn how to do this? And there's no right or wrong way to do this. That's what's great. It's just really starting. And so I was at a store the other day, and I saw a sign outside, and it said, San Antonio, stay cool, stay safe, and stay kind. And that was the sign that was in a parking lot at a store. And you know what? I saw be kind, and I thought, mindfulness. I can be mindful right here as I'm waiting in this line to get in the store. I'm rushed. I'm hurried. I need to get to my next appointment. I've got things I've got to do. But you know what? That sign simply reminded me to be mindful in that moment. And so, no matter where you are, whether you're going to the store, whether you're at home, whether you're frustrated with a sibling, whether you're frustrated with a spouse, no matter where you are, just remember that sign. Stay kind, and that's just a reminder of take a deep breath, roll my shoulders, and be present in the moment. Hear your breath, feel your breath. Is it rushed? Is it slow? Is it, you just have to start. You just have to be aware of it. I heard mindfulness being defined as intentional awareness. And I liked that because it's being intentional about what we're aware of.
Yeah. And this is something that we can all learn, right? It doesn't I think sometimes people feel like, oh, I'm just made to be anxious all the time. It's like, well, you may have that predisposition, but these habits can be learned. And over time, things like my gratitude journal practice, it really has changed how I look at life. And and then these mindfulness practices, because there's a physical element to it, right? That it brings your mind and body together, in a really positive way. And things like the breathing and the positions, help like reset your whole mood in a really healthy way.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I want to be sure before we close out that you get a chance to talk, more specifically about Brooks Academy. So I'm going to put the website address back on the screen. And so I guess, I mean, I think it's amazing that, Brooks Academies has, someone like you who specializes in social emotional learning, and bring that to, to every campus. So, but so tell us what you love about Brooks Academies.
Well, that's the impeccable and wonderful vision of our district superintendent, Lisa Shutt. She is amazing. And for her to, make this position available to us for the entire district and for our students and for our families, it really shows the vision that she has for our district. Each of our 4 Brooks Academies is amazing. We are engaging, dynamic, nurturing. Our leaders and our teachers and our support staff genuinely care about growing every child's heart just as much as we grow their mind. And it's such a very special district. If anyone's out there looking for a district home, I just strongly and highly encourage you to visit one of our websites. Brooksacademy.org is our district site, and then there are 4 campuses. We offer dual credit, dual enrollment, AP, early college, high school. We embrace that academic rigor, but we also embrace a healthy balance. And that's where the mindful moments are coming in. We also offer sports and arts, drama, dance, band, orchestra, dual language, and a wide variety of clubs starting at kindergarten, going all the way through 12th grade. So it's an amazing district, amazing leaders, and we're looking forward to being able to share it with anyone who's looking for a new school home.
Yeah, well, that's wonderful. So I encourage, viewers, readers, visit the brooksacademy.org website, and you'll find, like Paula said, the different campuses, what they specialize in, what grade levels they are, what locations they are in town, and just see how they're, all the things that they're offering to make these, these well-rounded students. And then, you can try out today's activities. Click on the link in the description and, try some of these poses at home with your kids, and talk to them about mindfulness. And I hope that this practice, adding this to your life, will help your family to to manage the stress of what's going on in the world, because we all need a little extra help these days. Okay, well, Paula, do you have any closing thoughts about mindfulness?
I just want to thank
maybe should we do a few more breaths?
Just thank you for the opportunity to share SEL. It's such an important part of our lives. And remember that small changes can make a big difference. And that's where I want to close.
Yeah, I agree with that wholeheartedly. Small changes make a big difference. It takes time, but you can start today. Yeah, with small changes. Yeah, thank you. Well, it's a wonderful post, and I think it's very accessible for families, and I encourage everyone listening to give it a try. So thank you so much, Paula.
Thank you.
Okay. Bye-bye.